Hello guys, I gave an interview in a company called Cast24 and the interview date was the January 7, 2025. So they asked to me the question, what is the try catch example? So I said in PHP the try catch block is used to handle exceptions. The code inside the try block is executed, and if an exception occurs it is caught by the catch block where you can handle the error gracefully. So syntax, try code they may throw an exception, catch code to handle the exception, then try code they may throw an exception, and catch exception $e. Okay, so explanation: the divide function takes two number as input. If the denominator $b is 0, the exception is thrown. The catch block catches the exception and display an error message. If no exception occurs, the functions return the result of the division. Also, I made a note for that: try, catch, and finally. So in try block, generally we keep the statement 1, 2, 3. Let's have we have three statements in try block, and in catch block we have statement 4, and in finally block we have statement 5, and outside of these we have the statement 6. So case 1, if there is no exception, then statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, statement 5 and statement 6 normal termination. Statement 4 will not work because there is no need of catch, because there is no exceptions. Case 2, if an exception raised at statement 2 which is in the try block and correspondent catch block matched, then okay, 2 is already 2 have exceptions. Okay, so the which all statement will work now? Statement 1 will work. Statement 2 won't work because it has what do you call exception, and even the statement 3 which is inside the try block, it will no, it will there will be no statement 3 in this case. So the exception which so the statements which will work is statement 1, statement 4. Statement 4 is inside the catch block, statement 5 and statement 6. This is the normal termination. Case 3, if an exception raised at statement 2 which is under the try block and the correspondent catch block not matched, catch block means statement 4 is not matched, then statement 1 and statement 5, this is the abnormal termination, and statement 6 will not work here. Okay, case 4, if an exception raised at statement 4 which is inside the catch block, then it is always abnormal, but before abnormal termination finally block will be executed. Okay, if an exception raised at statement 5 which is in the finally block or at statement 6, then it is always abnormal termination. So what is the conclusion for try catch finally? Within the try block, if anywhere exception raised, then rest of the try block won't be executed even though we handle that exception. Hence, length of try block should be less as possible, and we have to take only risky code within the try block. So the bottom line is, in the try block we have the risky codes and you should make it minimum. Okay, in addition to try block, there may be a chance of raising an exception inside catch and finally block. Okay, if any statements raise an exception which is not part of try block, then it is always abnormal termination. If any statement raised an exception which is not part of try block, then it is always a normal, it is a abnormal termination. Okay, so that was the try, catch, and final. Second question, they ask me what is 1NF, 2NF, 3NF. So these are the normalization form in the database. So I said normalization refers to organizing a database column, rows and column to minimize data redundancy. Okay. So the first is about eliminating repetition group. The second is for the eliminating redundant data. And the third normalization form is about eliminating the columns that don't depend on the key. Some other I know of are the voice code or optimal and domain key forms. Okay. Third question, they ask me what is session and cookies. So I said for non-logged in user, you can store data temporarily in cookies or in the local storage on the client side. So cookies allow you to store data in the user's browser which persist even after the browser is closed unless the cookies expire. So how do you set a cookie? Set cookie user data temporary value time plus 3600. Okay. So if access the cookie, if is set dollar cookie user data, then echo dollar cookie user data. So output temporary value. Using local storage, client side JavaScript. Although not directly part of PHP, local storage is a common method for storing non-sensitive users data in the browser. You can use JavaScript to handle this. Okay. So key difference between the session, cookies, database or local storage are: session store data server side for logged in users. Cookies store data client side on the user's browser and both logged in and non-logged in the user. Database store permanent user data server side for logged in users. Local storage stores data client side, the user's browser, for non-logged in the users. Only available to JavaScript within the same origin, not sent to the server. They asked me what are the routes. I said routes define how URLs map to controller and actions. So syntax example.com controller, then method, then parameter. So example.com products view 1 2 3. So controller is products, method is view, and parameter is 1 2 3. So what are the types of routes? So static routes, fixed URL pattern. So routes get home index. Dynamic routes, variable URL pattern with parameter. So routes get product slash colon num product detail slash $1. Custom routes define using regular expression. So routes add product 0 to 9 for products then detail slash $1. So microservices. Answer. Microservices is an architecture style where a big application is broken down into small independent services that work together. Each service focuses on a single functionality and communicates with other services through APIs. Things of microservice like a restaurant. The kitchen cooking service prepare food. The cash counter billing service handle payments. The water order device take order and delivers food. Each part service does its job independently but works together to run the restaurant efficiently. So simple example in PHP, imagine a e-commerce website with the following microservice. User service manage user account. Product service stores product details and order services handle order processing. So user service. So echo JSON encode user ID is equal to 1, name is equal to John Doe. Okay. So then they asked me what is the interface and abstract class. So I have notes for that. Or also they asked me the transactions in PHP. So first of all, I want to share this one transaction. A transaction in PHP is used to perform a series of database operations at a single unit of work. If any operation in the transaction fails, the entire transaction is rolled back to the maintained data integrity. PHP uses PDO, PHP Data Objects, or MySQLi for handling database transactions. Steps to perform a transaction in PHP. Start the transaction, execute multiple SQL queries, commit the transaction if all queries succeed, and roll back the transaction if any query fails. So engines, CSV, memory, MyISAM, INNODB. Okay. So they asked me what is the difference between interface and class. This is the next question. If we don't know anything about the implementation part, just we have requirement specification, then we should go for the interface. If we are talking about implementation but not completely partial implementation, then we should go for the abstract class. Inside interface, every method is always public and abstract, whether we are declaring or not. Hence, interface is also considered as 100% pure abstract class. Every method present in abstract class need not to be public and abstract. In addition to abstract method, we can take concrete methods also. Third, we can't declare interface method with following modifier: public, private, protected, abstract, final, static, synchronized, native, strict FP. We can declare abstract method, no restriction on abstract class method modifier. Fourth, every variable present inside interface is always public, static and final, whether we are declaring it or not. The variable present inside the abstract class need not to be public, static and final. We can't declare interface variable with the following modifier like private, protected, transit and volatile. There are no restriction on the abstract class variable modifier. For interface variable compulsory, we should perform initialization and the time of the declaration, otherwise we will get compile time error. For abstract class variable, it is not required to perform initialization at the time of the declaration. 7th, inside interface we can't declare instance and static blocks, otherwise we will get the compile time error. Inside abstract class we can declare instance and static blocks. Inside interface we can't declare constructors. Inside abstract class we can declare constructor which will be executed at the time of the child object creation. Note 1. Since Java 8 interface can have default and static method also. Note 2. Abstract class can have final, non-final, static and non-static variable. Note 3. Serialization implementation is possible in interface using the maker interface. So these are the questions asked by the CAST 24 and the interview date was the January 7, 2025. I will share more interview question. Till then, bye.